What's stronger than one steal on your team? Two steals. Here's the story of Roan Steele's journey from Frankston to Casey to the WAFL to the Magpies. Whilst not a household name right now, Roan Steele is ready to make his impact when he hits the MCG ground running against Carlton on Friday night. Now, this kid was a mid-season draft pick 8. Collingwood came calling, but let's dive a little bit before that mid-season draft pick and see where he had come from. Steele started as a hard-running winger from the Frankston YCW local league, but he was overlooked at every turn. In his own words, he said, "I felt like I was unlucky not getting into the NAB League trials, so I've just been working hard at local level." At 23, he was still outside the traditional talent pathways. But when KC Demons coach Mark Corrigan eventually gave the Frankston kid a shot in 2022, Steele absolutely seized it. He was thrown into the deep end, which is what he likes the best. From the moment he stepped onto the field with KC Demons, his flair and work ethic stood out amongst everyone. He immediately became a permanent fixture at KC and in a breakout game scored 3 goals and started averaging around 10 touches a game. Teammates at Casey started referring to him as the hard worker as he surprised everyone at the club. Despite never having played in the elite junior ranks, Steele's hard work and persistence became the hallmark of his story. Across the 3 seasons, 2022 to 2024 with Casey in the VFL, he proved he was adaptable, a goal-kicking small forward one week, a relief midfielder the next. His persistence finally paid off when he was seeking a new opportunity, the WAFL came calling. West Perth in the WAFL offered Steele a fresh opportunity, new grounds, new teammates, and he absolutely thrived in it. At West Perth, he averaged 21 disposals a game as a midfielder and just used his trademark endurance to cover the ground as a wingman, as a midfielder, wherever he was put. Roan Steele's risk to move from KC Demons all the way over to Western Australia to pursue an AFL dream is justified and paid off when the Pies came calling.
It's Collingwood now that we're up to, and they have pick number 8 and have selected Roan Steele from West Perth Football Club.
It was May 2025 when the phone rang and it was Collingwood's recruiting department on the other side. The Magpies had 2 open list spots due to injuries, and the Magpies were scouring local talent leagues for diamonds in the rough.
This year has played some great footy for West Perth. Been all around the country though, really, in recent seasons to get this opportunity. He's played as a goal kicker in the past, but been a bit of a revelation this season at WAFL level and moving around the ground there.
National recruiting manager Shane O'Brien notes that they were looking for players who could make an instant impact upon arrival. Steele fit the bill. On draft night, Collingwood used pick 8 of the AFL mid-season rookie draft to secure Steele. The club's announcement emphasised the same traits that had carried him so far. He was a 23-year-old mid-sized midfielder, originally from Frankston, coming off strong WAFL numbers.
The most talented team, I think they probably just wanted the most talented player at this pick, and they've clearly identified Roan Steele as one of those players. Averaged 21 disposals, still found the scoreboard quite often this season in the WAFL for West Perth. He's kicked 5 goals from 7 games, and he's averaged 21.1 disposals in those 7 WAFL games as well. So clearly can find the footy across half forward, and someone that Collingwood will hope can inject something into their hopeful premiership push in the back half of the campaign.
This is what Shane O'Brien said about Roan Steele.
Yeah, Roan's someone we've followed for a while. Obviously, he's first started playing at Casey, and then this year he's made the transition over to West Perth. His running capabilities, his GPS data is through the roof. He's a player that we think can play multiple positions, and his body and shape and being able to play against men for the last few years, we feel that hopefully when he gets over and starts training with the boys, feels familiar with our systems and our program, and in a full-time program as well, we can see Roan hopefully pushing for an AFL selection as the year goes on.
And I love the foreshadowing saying that we can foresee him, pushing for AFL selection, because only after a handful of VFL games, only a couple months into the system, he finally gets his shot. Steele's leg speed and stamina were off the charts for a player his size, making him a valuable utility who could fill midfield or wing roles or slot into the forward line. Back in Western Australia, West Perth coach Paul Sanzone had already noticed Steele's bigger grounds running power. Collingwood's recruiters banked on those traits translating to the top level. Steele arrived at Collingwood's training facility in May and he didn't skip a beat. Within weeks, he was already starring in our VFL side, which is just incredible to think. In just 4 VFL performances, he quickly impressed the big head honchos in Collingwood and pushed his name up for team selection. Averaging just 20 disposals per game and using that elite running that they know that he has, Steele only the other week starred for Collingwood against Southport where he kicked a goal and had 20 disposals.
Up. That showed plenty of the footy. Great mark from Steele. Second in the last 2 Gardner-Clark medal counts for Casey's best and fairest. He gets one against the old mob.
One of the most special things about Roan Steele's debut is, yes, his mid-season draft pick. He is debuting for the biggest club in the land on the biggest stage in the land. But it's a little bit deeper than that. When he runs out on Friday, Roan Steele will be the 1,200th player to wear the black and white stripes for Collingwood. From 1897 to 2025, 1,200 players have worn the stripes, and Roan Steele will be one of them. Roan Steele's story, much like Brody Mychek's long trek and not a conventional way of getting into the AFL system, tells one of perseverance, persistence, and just an insane work ethic to get to where he is. It serves as an inspiration to anyone that's grinding off the radar and just wanting to do what they love. It just tells you that you should never, ever, ever give up on your dreams. So Roan Steele, here's to you, mate. Go well against the Blues. Go the Pies.